When we realized that Myrada had begun its 50th year of operations a year ago, the immediate reactions were, Golden Jubilee? Whose? Myrada's! Wow, really? Where do we begin? How do we tell the story of this institution? How does one capture 50 years of dedicated work in 15 minutes? That's impossible. But let's try, through a series of pictures. Let's start with the project celebrating the Golden Jubilee in their own areas. These were fun-filled events which got all the staff together to reminisce and rejoice at achieving this milestone. And did some of them celebrate? There were stage-based events, special exhibitions, competitions, and the campuses bore a festive look. I'm sure you all saw the Rangoli design made up of millet seeds at the entrance. This was a replica of the one made for the Golden Jubilee at our Kadiri project. Where did Myrada start? The story has been told several times over, but it is still very exciting to hear. Back in 1968, Myrada began with the resettlement of the Tibetans located around Mysore and Kollegar. Even if you go there today, you enter a different world altogether. The people are very gentle and hospitable, and the older generation remember Myrada well. The little villages, titled A to Z in Kollegar Taluk, reflect the work done for over 10 years by Myrada, where houses were built, schools set up, and the Tibetans taught to grow maize. Till today, the Maize Cooperative Society is running strong. At that time, the Myrada team had a group of retired but very committed defense persons who brought in a sense of discipline. William D'Souza fondly remembers how the young staff recruited from the local villages had to learn to eat with knife and fork and had to wear a coat and shoes for dinner. Those were the days. After the resettlement phase was completed, Myrada ventured headlong into rural development projects. Starting in Mysore and Chamarajnagar districts, Myrada spread its wings to 16 districts across Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. This was the time when Myrada experimented to the maximum. One of the key outcomes of these experiments was the birth of the self-help group. This led to a movement that has permeated all over the world and changed the socio-economic fabric of rural poor women. Started as credit management groups, they evolved into self-help affinity groups and spread all over Myrada's working area. Over 20,000 groups were formed over the years, benefiting over 400,000 poor women and their families directly. Some groups became redundant once all the members were lifted out of the poverty and did not feel the need to continue to save weekly. They already had assets in land and gold. Making the water walk and bringing the soil to life. A very popular slogan in Myrada underlies the watershed projects that encompassed a major part of Myrada's work in every one of its 16 districts. Learning to understand the differences in profile of the upper reaches versus the middle and lower reaches, not only in terms of physical structures required to harness water and conserve soil, our teams learned the differing needs of the communities located in these areas and evolved a strategy to get them to work together for mutual benefit. Both the self-help group movement and community participation in setting up and managing a sustainable watershed project became advocacy points for Myrada, which finally translated into new policies set up at RBI and central government level. Several other initiatives were tried out: drilling borewells, animal husbandry, and the milk collection center in Arepalyam up in the Sathyamangalam hills that led to multiple milk collection, chilling centers and routes being set up in other project sites too. Over the years, Myrada has worked in the health and education sector to respond to improving the quality of education for children and enabling the community to access primary health care and utilize it timely. Vocational skills training has focused on empowering dropout youth to pick up need-based skills and then establish their own livelihoods, either by setting up local business or getting employed locally. Over 30,000 youth have been trained in the past decade across the projects. Now, our focus is on supporting the farmer in improving his livelihood through understanding value addition in any crop he focuses on, right from the stage of inputs to his land and crop to production to post-harvest and marketing. What excitement to learn about so many recent updates in farming techniques. And what an advantage to have our own farmer science school at Myrada KVK in Erode, a mining house of agricultural technology updates. How do you think any of this has happened? It is only the product of a bunch of very committed and passionate people who have literally shed liters of sweat and some blood in their endeavor to keep the flag of Myrada high. And what a bunch! Thousands of people have gone through Myrada portals, each one of them making a contribution in some way or the other. The average time spent in Myrada by the early set of staff is over 15 years. And we have veterans who have been with us for 37 years and still going strong. Many of them started in Myrada as their first job and are still working with us. A major key to Myrada's success over the 50 years is the strong team it has built. Along with the leaders, founder members Mr. Brower and Mr. Davidson, the dynamic, energetic, visionary Padma Shri awarded Aloysius Fernandez, and currently Arvind Risbud, Myrada boasts of a 200-number strong staff who are the backbone of the organization. The Myrada army has spread to over 14 different districts and is a force to reckon with in the NGO world. Whether it is the committed program team or the super efficient accounts and admin team, there is a synergy that is recognized by both the communities we serve and the outside world. Myrada has been fortunate to have an enabling board of directors all along. Drawn from many fields, these individuals have come with their vast experience to support and guide Myrada to reach the position it holds today in society. It is no wonder that Myrada has been able to get the support to do its work given the obvious commitment to doing a good job that it has demonstrated time and time again. several donors have been our long-time partners and still continue to support our work extensively. We are very grateful to them. The new profile of corporate donors who have come forward to support Myrada's work has been very encouraging in this difficult time that NGOs in South India are facing. It is not possible to name them all or single out any specific one, but every donor has been a true partner and champion of Myrada's cause over the years. We thank them and assure them of our continued commitment to serving the poor and vulnerable rural communities. The decision to set up learning campuses in our rural project areas has paid rich dividends. Currently, there are 9 such campuses which house full-fledged residential training centers as well as our project offices. These learning centers, or Sidors as they are called, have focused on teaching others in what Myrada knows and has done, and is field-based as much as classroom-based. The latest learning center has evolved into a green college, an innovative learning institution in Chitradurga for farmers. Operating on our key philosophy of building self-sustaining poor people's institutions, Myrada is very proud to have created and fostered over 130 such institutions over the years, not counting the community-based self-help groups and farmer groups which run into thousands. Termed the Myrada spin-offs, the key institutions which have emerged are MyCaps, an independent NGO in Mysore district headed by one of Myrada's stalwarts, William D'Souza. KVK, a role model for all other KVKs in the country, set up in Erode and run by the dynamic Alagesan and Sanghamitra, the microfinance organization set up to support SAGs, with Mr. Gadia Pannavar at the helm. But the pride and future of Myrada is in the success of its community-based institutions, some of which have made a very special impact in the country. MAS in Belgaum has been set up by a group of ex-Devadasis with a gigantic support and effort of our very own Lathamala, and is today a dynamic NGO serving over 3,000 ex-Devadasi members and their families. How proud we are of its current director, Sitava, who was conferred the Padma Shri in February 2018 in recognition of the contribution MAS has made to society. Meadow. What a fantastic story this institution is. Started with around 12 women, they now have over 300 women working in Hosur in a sophisticated setup, making watch parts, gold jewelry, and aircraft parts for Titan and other allied industries. Their recent turnover was over 5 crores. Our community-managed resource centers, or CMRCs as they are referred to, 75 of them scattered across the districts, are self-sustained federations of SAGs that are doing some superb work in serving the rural poor in their local areas. The latest to join this group are our 25 farmer producer organizations, FPOs as they are called. These institutions are on their way to becoming self-sufficient and have demonstrated several creative and unique ways in value addition to their crops. And there is so much more to say, but no time today to do that. We welcome you all to visit our website www.myrada.org to learn more. What an exciting journey it has been these 50 years. Challenging, frustrating, but so satisfying for so many people. And as we celebrate this milestone, we wish our team all the very best and say onward to platinum.